Afternoon again. This is Tom Radaklog. If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up. Beautiful. All right, so we might get a little bit of feedback since I'm doing the lip sync or lip reading service for Doc, and she's across from me, so we're going to get a little bit of feedback. I apologize for that. But here's the sign in, say that you received the training, and we're recording the session. So in the session, you have Dr. Andrea Bowden, who's the co-chair for Bcpss United Way of Central Maryland. And then we have Michelle Martin, who's the senior relationship manager for United Way for Central Maryland. All right, Doc, I guess you can go ahead and take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Andrea Bowden. I want to thank you for coming to this training for United Way coordinators. A number of things have changed this year, and Michelle Martin and I are going to be giving you a heads up about how things are working this year. Some of you have been coordinators for many years. Some of you are new. Basically, modern history of the United Way in Baltimore City. United Way took over being the major charitable giving group back in 2017. Prior to that, from around 1985 until that time, it was called Combined Charities. So United Way became the umbrella organization for many charitable partners. And in the years since 2017, it has grown, and United Way has established its own programs. It still supports a number of major partners and groups. We'll be hearing more about that. Michelle Martin will tell you about the wonderful work of United Way, and later we will be going over the e-pledge form. Almost everything that you will be working with this year is done virtually. The days of having a booklet with various codes and descriptions, that's over. So almost everything you'll be doing will be online. So it's really important for you to understand this. Okay, so now we're going to try to switch over to Michelle so she can tell you more about United Way.
Good afternoon, everybody. Like Andrea said, I'm Michelle Martin, Senior Relationship Manager here at United Way. And for almost 100 years, United Way of Central Maryland has lived and breathed this region. By partnering with companies, organizations, and of course, city governments and schools like you, we strive to make lives better by assisting and providing basic needs such as housing, health, education, and employment, and in doing so, creating strong neighbors, which in turn creates strong neighborhoods. Basically providing what's needed where it's needed, promoting equity and creating opportunities. Next slide. So this year, Governor Westmore and Aruna Miller held an MLK Day of Service on January 16th. Thousands of volunteers donated their time to make sure people received food and meals. Students received stress relief kits and supplies, and a few lucky puppies in the training in the Warrior K-9 Connection got lots of cuddles. In addition, 7,000 students from 25 public schools participated in efforts last month to reflect on what they can do to better their communities and neighborhoods. Our goal was to get the students, young minds, to think about how to keep Maryland a beautiful and safe place. There were 5 Baltimore City public schools who participated in the event. These included Bel Air Edison School, Cross Country Elementary Middle, Gardenville Elementary, Walter P. Carter Elementary Middle, and Westport Academy. Next slide. These are our, United Way has 5 impact areas that we support: housing, economic advancement, 211 Maryland Helpline, health, and education. You can advance. Next slide. We also have what's called neighborhood zones. And in this program, it supports social and economic and educational advancement in the Poplarton, West Baltimore area and Brooklyn Curtis Bay areas. We also have a third location, which is in Columbia, Maryland. This program offers on-site family centers at Ben Franklin High School and Excel Academy. These family centers offers full daycare, childcare for infants and toddlers so students can stay in school and graduate. It also offers housing and employment assistance, dropout prevention programs, mental health services, and access to healthy food. In the most recent school year, Ben Franklin has offered parenting support to 11 students and early education to 12 children. Excel Academy supports 12 parent students, and 10 children have received childhood education, early childhood education. Okay, next slide.
I'm trying.
Let's see. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, there we go. Oh, we're going to skip. Wait a minute. There we go. Young men. There we go. So this year, started our Young Men United initiative. And this initiative is going to support 50 students in Baltimore City at the Patterson High School and Ben Franklin High School. This program will follow these 50 students from 10th grade, starting in 10th grade, all the way through graduation in college. If the student decides not to go to college, it will assist in getting them in a trade school or getting interviews or anything that the student may need during this time. Mental health services, food, clothing to go on interviews, laptops for school if they decide to go into high school. So this is also an initiative that donors, employees in the public school can also donate to as well. Next slide. I think I can advance from here. Oh, okay, go ahead, Andrea. I can advance from here if you'd like me to.
She can advance.
We're okay.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
Do you want to unmute?
Okay, so the first part of this presentation, the slides that you will get to show to your staff are those very same slides. Okay? And you heard Michelle describe the wonderful work of United Way. So, our campaign in Baltimore City runs February 1st through April 30th. Our team is Jim Brennan, the executive assistant, and we have 3 campaign co-chairs. Along with me, we have David Verdi and Mavis Jackson. Both are principals. We are here at Digital Harbor, and I want to thank Mr. Acklog for facilitating. He is also the United Way coordinator at this school. Okay. We're looking at a screen now about recent giving in Baltimore City. You will notice the first row is participation. This means what % of all Baltimore City employees gave. Our goal this year is 4%. That seems low, but when you look at a system that has nearly 10,000 employees, that's pretty substantial. Please look at the employee gifts. 2019, and then a big drop in 2020. That, of course, was because of the pandemic. We actually had to suspend the campaign midway because of the pandemic. Despite that, we still were able to collect $58,000 from Baltimore City employees. In 2021, things picked up a little bit. And one of the things that we moved forward on were special events. We're setting a goal of $5 for each person, but special events bring more money in. 50-50 raffles are perhaps the most popular kind of thing. And we have special permission from the school board to do these games of chance during this campaign. Another thing that's very popular with school staffs is to go to a local pub or eatery, and you make arrangements with the place, and there's a $5 cover charge to enter, and then people buy their own food and drink and have fun. But it is the cover charge that is donated to United Way. Schools do many unique special events. One elementary school collected loose change from students, and there were hundreds of dollars. It's a very heavy endeavor to take all that silver, but still, kids were giving to people that have needs. So for this year, we want to increase our special events. In Baltimore City, there are some people who give over $1,000. We want to increase that number. These are our mega donors. So our goal this year is to collect $82,000. Okay, let's advance. Okay, here we go. So all schools and offices name a coordinator who runs the on-site campaign. That's you. Each school sets a giving goal. Our minimum is $5 per staff member. Each school sets a participation goal. That means that your goal should be that everybody, all the staff members in your school participate. The coordinator explains the importance of the program and why the United Way is a valuable organization to receive donations. You need to be doing announcements, your bulletin, posters, emails, any other means, and you need to keep up the contact with your staff members. It can't just be a one-time thing. And this is where you, the coordinator, take the leadership. The coordinator should promote the use of the e-pledge form. Michelle will be explaining that in depth. This is the primary means of donation. And if you know how to use it, then you can sort of coach your coworkers. If people get stuck using an online form, they say forget it. And often they don't go back to complete their pledge. Now, staff members can give cash or checks. We're going to talk about that now. Well, in a minute. The advantages of the e-pledge form, you can make a payroll deduction. The minimum is $2 per pay, or $52 a year. $2 a pay, you're not going to miss. But that $52 a year can do a lot. The e-pledge form allows you to put your credit card or debit card in for any amount. The e-pledge form allows you to select a geographical area. Of course, we would say select Baltimore City, but if you live in Anne Arundel County, you can select Anne Arundel County or Baltimore County or Carroll County. So you can say where you want your donation used. It allows you to direct support to specific nonprofits in the community. The minimum donation is $50. And online, there is a long array of partners. These organizations are part of United Way, and they benefit from your donation through United Way. The e-pledge form requires specific information from you, including your employee number. That is how we track donations. This is how we know who gives what, how much schools are giving, etc. And most schools want their location, schools and offices, their location to be given credit for their generosity. It also offers participation in special giving circles. People who choose to give at certain levels can join communities of people who are similar givers. And this is a really wonderful thing to become part of. Okay, so we still use paper forms if a donor wants to write a check. The materials that you will get will have a few of the paper form. If somebody wants to write a check, it has to be on the paper form. Also, the paper form is used if somebody wants to give major cash. Let's say somebody wants to give you $30 or $50. They really should fill in that paper form because you want that tracked. If someone just wants to say, here, take this $5, they may elect not to fill in the paper form. Okay? The coordinator should organize one or more special events. These are not tracked online or on a paper form, but that money, when turned in, goes in as a special event for your school. So these cash contributions are separate. So what can you do? 50-50 raffle, collect quarters in a 2-liter plastic bottle, in the main office. Do not use the big, heavy plastic bottles that our water comes in. We can't get money out of them. We don't own them. And so just use soda bottles, 2-liter bottles. We talked about having an event at a local eatery or pub. You could have a special workshop, like a teacher could give a cooking workshop or a drawing workshop, and people pay to take that, and that money goes to the United Way. Service, for instance, doing hair or nails, maybe fixing your computer or plant care. Your special event is limited. Okay, so schools that give the highest amount will be recognized. Schools that have schools and offices that have the highest participation will be recognized. And this is usually done at a school board meeting in May. So, who was the top? In 2021-22, the top was Samuel Coleridge Taylor Elementary School with $4,620. That is a very high amount for a relatively small school. The top high school was Baltimore Polytechnic. The top central office was the Office of College and Career Readiness. The top participation was the Eager Street Academy. Every year, Eager Street Academy, known as the jail school, has 100% of its faculty participating. The top office was research and evaluation, and the top fundraising, Highlandtown Elementary, and that $645 was all in coin, and we had to use the principal's little cart to get it out to the car when we collected it. Now, Michelle is going to go over the pledging instructions. These next two slides are the actual instructions. Okay, so pay close attention to them. You will get a copy of this very slide, this one and the next one. So that you can go over it with people. If you want to print it out, that's up to you. If you want to send it to them in an email, we would recommend that. Okay, so we're now going to go to Michelle, and she is going to walk you through what you see when you log in to donate. Okay, Michelle.
Okay, so when you go to the ePledge website, you'll get the link. This is the screen that you're going to see. You're going to see a user login or user ID and password. Your user ID will be the letters B as in boy, C, P as in Paul, S, along with your employee ID number. No spaces altogether. Your password is going to be your 2-digit month of birth, month you were born, and 4-digit year. So 6 numbers, 2-digit month, 4-digit year. So for instance, I was born February 1970. It would be 021970. Next slide. And once you sign in, you'll see this page. At the top, well, you'll be on your home page. So at the top, the very top, you'll see these links that you can click on. You won't see the last response and transaction. This is my login, so you won't have those, but you'll see give, your history. So if you've donated in the past, if you click on that, you can see what you've given in the past. So you're going to click on give. When you click on give, you're going to get this screen. It's going to let you know down here what page you're on. So right now we're at the select page, select pledge type. We've chosen payroll deduction, and how you know is it'll be highlighted in this dark blue. So if you do credit card, then that area would be highlighted in navy blue. So if you go to the next screen, please. So once we've selected payroll deduction, you're going to get this screen, and you'll see enter pledge amount. That'll let you know you're on the right screen. So I chose to deduct $10 every pay period for 26 pays, which will give me an annual total pledge of $260. So when you add the 10 and you choose 26, it's going to total that for you. You're going to want to make sure that the box that says yes next to do you wish to direct any part of your contribution to a specific nonprofit or United Way program, you're going to check that box that says yes. And we're going to hit the next step. So can you advance the slide? Now, if you chose that credit card option, you can also use a debit card. If you chose the credit card option, this is the screen you're going to get. You're going to enter your pledge amount. I chose to enter $100. You're going to start the date on whatever your date is that you want it started on. So you have the option this year to do a payment frequency. So you can pay it in full, write that in there. You can divide that $100 into 12 monthly payments, which means every month on the same date, this is going to process for 1/12 of your original pledge amount. Or you can divide it into 4 quarterly payments, which would be $25 each quarter. Next, and like on the, yeah, okay, that's fine. So we're going to process this through if we pledge payroll deduction. So at the top, you'll see what your total pledge was. We said chose $260 for the year. We designated 20 already. So it's going to tell us how much we have left to designate. So we have $240 left. If you look down below that, you're going to start seeing where you can direct the rest of your gift, your donation. So I gave 20 to General United Way Fund. Next slide. Then you'll see there's another section where you can direct it to a specific county if you'd like to. You don't have to. These are just some options that they give. Below that section, it says direct my gift through United Way of Central Maryland. Here is where, if you choose to send it to a nonprofit of your choice, if you enter, for instance, Chesapeake Bay Foundation, if you start, or if you didn't know the whole name, but you knew, let's say, Chesapeake. If you type in Chesapeake and you hit search, everything that's in our database that has Chesapeake in it will show up. And then you can scroll through and see if you can find the correct one that you need. I chose Barks, and then I clicked my search. And if you go to the next screen, we'll see what happens. So this is what happens when you do a search and you're looking for, you put in a keyword. I put in Barks and did a search. And then where it says results, you get the full name of Barks, Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. Gives you our book, the book number that's in our system. And then this little plus sign over here, you're going to hit the plus sign. And then next screen, I'm going to show you what happens. Okay, this is right. So the next screen, Barks, that when you click the plus sign, you're going to get this blank box, and it's going to allow you to put in your designation amount. Now, if you look down, it says give to another nonprofit, write in. Go to the next screen, please. If you click that option, you're going to get this screen. And this is if you've searched and your nonprofit doesn't come up, you can write that information in. So if you had a nonprofit that you want to send to and it is not in our database, here, this screen is where you'll enter all of their information, how much you want to give to this, and then you're just going to add it. Next screen. So once you finish putting your information in for your chosen nonprofits, you're going to get this screen, which is going to ask you for your personal email. It can be your personal email or it can be your work email, doesn't matter. And you're going to click next. Next screen, please. And here is where you're going to review everything that you just did. So our pay periods per year are 26. The deduction per pay, you've chosen 10. So your total pledge is going to be $260. And below that is everywhere that you've sent money to. So we sent 100 to United Way, 100 to Baltimore Animal Rescue, which there's I can't see my screen. Total designated was 260. So one of these is 160 and one is 100. So the total designation is 260. Once you get to this screen, check and double check that everything is correct and you can hit confirm. When you hit confirm, you'll get a screen that says, thank you for your support. Some other little things on there. And you also get an email to that email address that you entered. And it'll tell you how this exact same thing. It's basically your receipt that you're going to be getting. And that's it. You're all done.
Okay. Now, we need you to put your questions in the chat, or if you want to ask a verbal question, we will answer them. The only stupid question is the one you didn't ask, because it is likely somebody else has the same question. We did have a question from before. Can we use homemade foods? Okay? Technically, the answer is no. That is not allowable under the conditions in Baltimore City schools. You're not supposed to bring things from home. This means technically that all the bake sales we've had over all of the years aren't legal. I'm telling you what the city rule is. What you do is up to you. Okay. What percent of funds go to the nonprofit? If you designate, remember the minimum is $50 to, let's say, Chesapeake Bay Foundation. If you donate 50 to Chesapeake Bay Foundation, 50 goes to Chesapeake Bay Foundation. Next question. No, we are not using Combined Charities form anymore. We haven't used it since 2017. Combined Charities doesn't exist anymore. United Way is the umbrella organization the way Combined Charities used to be. It is also it also runs all the wonderful programs that you heard Michelle describe at the beginning of the presentation. And the big change from most of our donors is that all of this you should be entering online. We are not dealing with thousands of paper forms anymore. And this is something we all have to get used to. Okay. Questions?
Okay, I'll answer this question. Do donors who make payroll deductions get a tax form to claim for Bcpss or United Way? No, United Way does not send out tax forms. That email that you get is your receipt to use for tax forms or just proof that you donated.
If you choose not to designate these things, I had one person say, oh, that's just too many choices. Take my money. Okay, we'd be happy to have your money, but then United Way decides where to apply it. The fact that they give us the choice to designate where we want our money to go is something you ought to take advantage of.
And if you
get real-time participation numbers? Okay, what happens is, and thank you for that question. What happens is Michelle will give me, the coordinators, an update on Friday. Every Monday, I send out what's called a Monday message. And in the Monday message, we will have participation levels, etc. And I hope I'll be able to give you as an individual what's happening at your school. One of the things to remember as a coordinator is always thank people who give anything. Never make public how much they give. While it would be nice to say, we thank, Mrs. Jones for her $100 contribution, we can only say we thank Mrs. Jones for her generous contribution. Okay? I think there was another thing in the chat that I missed. Carrie had a question?
I think you answered that question. So if someone donates over $20, a large amount, do they get individual recognition?
Okay, the question was, if they donate a big amount, do they get a recognition? The answer is, I send them a certificate. They get a thank you from Dr. Santalesis. And if they wish to be recognized publicly, we will do it at the school board. Many people who are very generous donors don't want to be recognized publicly. That's a personal decision.
To answer, Carrie had a question about there's no form documenting their large donation. Carrie, that's a good question. I don't know if someone over a certain amount, if United Way sends a tax document. I will check for you. It may be that if the person does give over 1,000, that an actual document will go out. But under that, I definitely know no. If you donate online, you will get an email. So that email serves as your receipt and your tax document.
And those people at that level are eligible for these giving societies. These are groups that United Way maintains contact with via email, and they have activities. They have happy hours. They have talks. They have a variety of things because people who are active givers also like to socialize with people who are active givers. Can we do I gave recognition? Yes. At one of the schools, what they did in the main office, another school did it in the main faculty lounge. I gave to United Way, and then they would put a sticky up on the board with the name, not the amount, but with the name. Some schools, like if they have a bulletin each week, they say, thanks to the United Way givers, and they list the names. You want to pat people on the back. And you want to be very thankful for whatever they can give you. You know, some people can give a lot, some people can give a little, but the fact that they give is important. Other questions?
I'm entering my email and phone number. So if anyone needs to reach out to me, by all means, you can just give me a call or shoot me an email if you're having any problems logging in, or if anyone in your location is having problems logging in, can't get logged in, or anything like that. Any questions, feel free to call me or send me an email.
Thank you, Michelle. And I'm accessible through email because of my hearing disability. I really can't do voice phone, but I answer any email very rapidly. So
there's two more questions. There's two more questions. There's two more questions. Does United Way have stickers to such I gave? We do not, but that's a good idea. I'll look into that to see if we can get some. And the other one, Carrie, is there a way to donate by card that does not require? Yes, Carrie, on the pledge form, the paper pledge form, you can use your card on that form as well. And we are going to have 2 tabling events at the head office on North Avenue, one in March and one in April. So you'll be able to, you can use your credit card there too.
So what can you expect to receive? You will receive a black United Way bag. You will receive paper copies of a single set of copies for what we will send you via email. Okay? You will receive 4 posters to put up at different places in your school. You will receive about 5 paper forms for the people that want to pay by check or by large cash donations. You will not receive individual forms for different people, for every person. So being able, I mean, you are free to print them out if you wish, but they are not being provided. Who, as a coordinator, is a United Way t-shirt. Michelle, how do you want to collect that information?
So you can add your t-shirt size to the chat, or you can email me. Either way is sufficient.
Okay, did you see the last question?
Yes,
The QR codes, yes. I answered it.
Okay. So, final request for questions.
You don't have to.
There, Christine Thomas asked her there are individual staff who will not donate because they have to pledge online. We understand that, Christine. You'll be getting a few paper pledge forms. You will also be getting the electronic version of the paper pledge form, which can be printed and they can fill that out. If you have, please, you do not have to wait till the end of the campaign or wait 2 weeks. If you get paper pledges or you have money, cash, please reach out to myself or Andrea, and one of us will come and pick it up. If Andrea can't get there for a few days, give me a call and I'll come out and get it myself.
In most cases, once we get your, as an example, t-shirt size, it will come to you in your black bag. If not, if you get your other materials first and then we get your shirt later, I send it through interoffice mail. The black bag comes through interoffice mail. So we have a training today. It's Tuesday. You should have your materials 1 week from today. And if you don't, send me a nice email reminder. Maybe your shirt hasn't come in or maybe something else has happened. But remember, you will get the email, the electronic copy of all of these forms. Now, I cannot stress enough that you are now prepared to make a presentation at next Monday's faculty meeting. Please ask your principal for about 15 minutes on the agenda. I will send you the PowerPoint for staff. It looks very much like this, except it doesn't have all of the very detailed screens about the online pledge. It does have the colorful slides about United Way. It does say why ePledge is good, if you want to use paper, etc. So you want to drum up support. I just had an email from a principal earlier this day, and he said, I'm going to conduct the 50-50 raffle myself. Fine. Having it have it ready, start it while people are coming into the faculty meeting, etc. For those of you that don't know what a 50-50 raffle is, you have to have tickets with the person's name on it. Okay? So they get a ticket, and the other half with their name on it goes, in a bowl or a thing. So let's say from your faculty, you collect $50. Then you pull the name. And the name you pull, that person gets $25 and $25 stays for United Way. And you can do more than one 50-50. You can do another one in April's faculty meeting. Remember, this isn't over until the end of April. You can do unlimited numbers of special events. You do have to talk to people face to face. And those of you who were on my coordinator list should have already received your manual. And it is a printed manual with all of this stuff in it. I mean, it's electronic, but you can go over page at a time at your leisure because this is an awful lot to digest. Okay. Other questions or comments? All right. So you should expect to get your materials, hopefully before the faculty meeting on Monday. You will get your staff email presentation, your staff PowerPoint presentation. You will get an email from me with each of the forms electronically. So you are now prepared when you meet your staff next Monday. So tomorrow, if you haven't already done it, check with your principal to get time. If you're in a big school, you can also do things like grade level meetings, department meetings. The more you talk this up, the better. So we want to thank you for your time. We want to thank you for, will the link be sent out? Yes. So we want to thank you for participating, and please stay in touch. Your question, can I pick up my materials earlier because my school has, when do you have it? When's your meeting?
Friday.
Friday? You're at Hartford Heights? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, I can get it to you. I can get yours there, okay? Before Friday. Okay, we want to thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.